Let me get at the one debate moment that certainly the Fetterman campaign believes was a gaffe on your candidate's part, and that is the idea of local political leaders being in the room to decide when or if an abortion is performed. He emphasized he didn't want the federal government involved, but he talked about local political leaders. How is that any better?
Well, I think what else would you expect the Fetterman campaign to be talking about, right? I mean, all day I've been reading observations from this debate, and so-called unnamed Democrat sources across the Commonwealth are saying what a disaster the debate was last night for the Democrat candidate. And so all they have to do is kind of double and triple down. We have seen, unfortunately, polluted across the airwaves here in Pennsylvania, tens of millions of dollars of negative advertising trying to scare Pennsylvanians into believing that somehow Dr. Oz has some radical views on abortion. These ads have said, for example, that he doesn't believe in any exceptions, when, of course, voters heard last night very clearly from the candidate he believes in exceptions for rape, incest, and, of course, to protect the life of the mother. Those ads have said he doesn't believe in any exceptions. Dr. Oz believes in exceptions. He is pro-life with those exceptions, and he has said very clearly, I mean, I've heard him answer this question many times, he does not believe the federal government should be involved at all in making decisions. That's left to the people of each state through their elected representatives. Now, again, I mean, I've read today, too, you have very powerful leaders in Philadelphia saying something like ward leaders will be in the room with the doctor and the patient, and then you have other people talking about the gubernatorial candidate. I think, let's put the absurdity aside, and what Mehmet was saying, of course, was that this should be the people deciding through their elected representatives. That's what the Supreme Court said, and that's is now the law of the land.
So is it fair to say that he does not have the same views on abortion that Doug Mastriano has? He does not want Doug Mastriano in that room?
Well, no, what I would say is that he has been very clear, and I'm not going to speak for the Mastriano campaign. I'm the co-chair of the Oz campaign, but I will say Mehmet has been crystal clear. He is pro-life with three very clear exceptions. In the event that the pregnancy is the result of rape, incest, or, of course, to protect the life of the mother. And he said it's up to the people through their elected representative. For example, today in Pennsylvania, it's my understanding, at least, I'm not in the state legislature, but that Pennsylvania law allows an abortion up to 24 weeks.
And so what you're saying is that's what Dr. Oz's position is, or it's whatever Pennsylvania decides?
He trusts the voters. Now, I mean, Chuck, I had the honor of campaigning a couple times statewide, and it is a true honor. And I know you had Malcolm on before, and Malcolm and I did the debate coverage last night from Altoona. We had a great time together. He's terrific.
That's what he told me off air. Yeah. So the fact that you said it on air, I guess it's true.
It's true. We had a great time. We had a great debate back and forth, and I would do that any time with him. And he's a bright leader here in the Philadelphia area, and of course in North Philadelphia. So, but what the privilege and the honor of campaigning across this beautiful Commonwealth of 67 counties is what you quickly realize, if you're any good at this at all, is that the people are really smart. The voters are really smart, and people get it. And there's common sense. And Mehmet talked about that again. He talked about it last night. Common sense, balance. Yeah. We have a proud tradition here in Pennsylvania of sending common sense, really bipartisan senators and from senators from both parties to Washington to get things done. Mehmet will inherit a proud tradition of that when he gets to work in January.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.